All right, it's 10:30. So my name is Anna Blazevich, and I'm doing a live. I am the founder of Soul Hum Elixirs, which is a functional non-alcoholic beverage. And we are talking about our crowd fundraising campaign that we are running through WeFunder. And so WeFunder is a platform that handles the back end piece of like the Form C so that you as an investor know that this truly is an investment. It's not a donation. And so basically on the WeFunder page, it's pretty self-explanatory, but I do feel like it's worth going through some of it because I'm sure many people are going to be looking at this on their phone. And so one of the things that's going to stand up here is when you go to the page, this is our hero video, which is probably the most self-explanatory part of all of this, right? But the part that I really wanted to point out to people, because to be completely honest, where's my perks? I'm really proud of the perks and I'm actually really excited. So if you click on the perks mean that an investment of $125 and it goes up from there. The perk is you get something uniquely from Soul Hum Elixirs. And so for $125 investment, there is the company t-shirt and sticker. And that is an exciting project for me because we have had people asking about t-shirts for a really long time. And I will be sending those out directly to you. $250 investment is one bottle of Soul Hum, your choice, and the company t-shirt and sticker. I don't know why it's showing these all double, but that's fine. $500 is a bottle of each, plus the company t-shirt and sticker. Or if you know you really like just one blend, then we can do two of that. Now getting into the ones that are pretty fun and exciting. $1,000 investment, you get a collector's glass and annual investor updates with behind the scenes content, early access to future investment opportunities. And just to talk about what that really means is like you as the investor would want to know what is going on with the company, right? And really where your investment turns into potentially money and solid equity would be, this is Soul Hum's very first crowdfunding raise, right? And so I'm saying to you that we're giving away equity at a max valuation of $3 million. So in a year from now, when we go to do seed funding or something else, or there's a triggering event, that turns into this equity that all that paperwork WeFunder does guarantees that your investment is sound. And so maybe one day we decide to sell, or we raise this, we do like a seed round, then you're going to get a percentage of that. So if we 5 years from now ended up being acquired, then your equity basically turns into a percentage of that acquisition. And what is kind of cool about WeFunder is you have a lot of these emerging brands, and so there's an opportunity to invest in a relatively small way, but potentially get a very big reward on it. And WeFunder is really good. If you like go to their site and you click buttons as you're looking through the profile to answer those questions, you can also just email me and I could further explain them. And then the other part that's probably really important to mention is we don't get to go live on WeFunder until we raise a $50,000 cap. So when we hit $50,000, that's when the Form C kicks in, and it eventually, that's when it goes live to this big pool of notable investors, or like investors that this is what they do for a living, right? And so this pre-launch is an opportunity for people to invest smaller amounts. Our minimum raise is 50,000. Our maximum raise is 250,000. And so that pool, it cannot go any bigger than that, but we cannot go live on WeFunder until we raise that 50,000. So right now, that's why you're going to see the terminology reserve funds, because you're just reserving your investment. If we don't get to the 50,000, then your reserve just, unfortunately, you're not going to be investing. But that's okay because we have faith. And anyway, if you are looking at the WeFunder on, we're going to play with my beautiful bottles now for a minute. If you're looking at WeFunder on your phone, the pitch deck is going to be really, really small. My suggestion would be that pitch deck is where we have concrete information about these highlights that, or benchmarks that Soul Hum met, that in my mind finally turned into a triggering event to say, holy crap, we really are like a thing. And so for me, as many of you know, Soul Hum is very, very much a personal journey. And so it has, and it's an emotional journey, right? It is incredibly difficult for somebody that has struggled with, never feeling good enough. We can talk about childhood trauma some other day. But like, to put this out there, a lot of that took a lot of mental work. And I had kind of set these things up in my brain. I'll be successful when, or Soul Hum's a real brand when. And I've done a lot of my own personal work to get to the place of saying, no, Anna, Soul Hum is a real brand and you are really behind this for all the right reasons. And really a big triggering event for me was getting to take Soul Hum on tour and going into stores and demoing the product. And once again, connection after connection after connection. A woman just coming up to me and starting to talk to me about her alcohol use disorder and being on medication so that if she does drink, she gets sick. A woman talking to me about getting off of the booze and the marijuana and Adderall abuse. Like, it is the talking stick. Soul Hum gives me an opportunity to have a reason to talk to somebody. I am often talking about the herbs and the botanicals in there and how they have helped me on my sobriety journey. And at the end of the day, this is a tangible replacement to intentionally say, not today. I'm not having alcohol today. I'm having something else, and I'm going to pick up a heavy bottle with intention. I'm going to struggle with this cork that Anna purposefully picked and made it hard. She didn't want a screw cap. I'm going to take that 60 seconds to give myself a minute to breathe, right? And so I just also want to celebrate anybody that's joining at this particular time because you have helped me. You don't know it, but every purchase, every interaction, my sobriety, my mental health, my connection with my family, my ability to grieve my brother and sister-in-law, all of that is because of all of you. And so no matter what happens in the next phase of Soul Hum, I want to say thank you because you all impact my life. I don't always get to tell you, but you do. And for that, I am eternally grateful for. So going back to the WeFunder, if you have questions, just reach out to me, but take the time to look at that pitch deck in the bigger form, right? Because that's showing you some concrete things. Maybe you know somebody that has this ability to invest. That's the information that they're going to want to see. They're going to want to see that we sold through our very first production without meaning to. They're going to want to see that we have over 70 wholesale accounts. They're going to want to see that we are in Total Wine and More. And they want to see those things because they want to know, hey, if I'm going to invest a lot of money in this, I want to know I'm going to get a return. And I can tell you that you will. So I don't know if anybody has any questions or I've missed anything.
No questions have come through yet. Is there a link? That is the first question.
The link is in our bio, which I have always struggled with finding these links. So on Instagram, how like when you see the profile, there's like this link and it says WeFunder and it's usually like highlighted. You can click on that If you can't find that link, you could just direct message if you're on Instagram, and we'll just send it to you. If you're not on well, you're on Instagram because you're watching me. Anyway, we can send it to you if you can't find it.
You can also go to the website.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Brandon. So also at our website, which is soulhumelixirs.com, we added a banner at the top so people can go to our website, learn more about us, and then easily just click on that. So, all right. Well, I think that's it. I'm here to answer questions. And again, I'm just very, very grateful, and I hope you have a blessed day.
Squatch Musing says, great, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Bye.